and send their experts to scour the Blood Cloud mountain range. Any suspicious people would be killed on the spot. Bei Mo looked at him with a serious expression. I have reminded you again and again to leave this place, but you simply refuse to listen. Now that I have explained everything to you, it would be best if you immediately departed as far from Blood Cloud mountain range as possible. There's no telling if the experts of the three great families will patrol this area and discover your existence. It will be too late for regrets once that happens, and just like these dried bones, you will slumber here forever. Go to the seventh mountain in front of us. Zhu Li suddenly cried out. Bring this man along. This briefly stunned Qin Lai, who then frowned and said, Follow me. As soon as he did, he started moving faster and slipped past Bei Mo like a breeze between the mountains. He went toward the seventh mountain. Bei Mo's eyes were filled with doubt. After a brief moment of hesitation, he finally obeyed his curiosity and followed Qin Lai. The Blood Cloud mountain range was made up of 15 connected mountains that were each several thousand meters tall. When Blood Fiend sect had been powerful, grand palaces were built on all 15 mountain peaks. Many Blood Fiend sect disciples had lived and cultivated on every mountain. Of the 15, the seventh mountain was at the center of the Blood Cloud mountain range and was more than 10,000 meters tall. Numerous clouds circled the halfway point of the mountain and shrouded its peak. The seventh mountain was where Blood Fiend sect had been located. It was the main mountain where the sect master of Blood Fiend sect had lived. The remaining 14 mountains surrounded the main mountain in a ring-like pattern. Blood Fiend sect's elders, enforcers, and disciples would live in the belly of these mountains, and there were even blood pools inside of them that the disciples would soak in to temper their blood. At present, all 15 mountains were devoid of human life. There was only a sea of dried bones and corpses that had decomposed after being left untouched for more than 1,000 years. The palaces atop the mountains were in shambles, and the giant caves inside the mountains were either collapsed or destroyed. The massive amount of spirit materials that had been stored inside of them had long since been stripped clean by the Silver Rank forces, the Xia family, the Su family, and the Lin family. Rotten bones were the only things that appeared along Qin Lai's path. These bones were all grayish-brown in color. They did not have the jade-like sheen of a dead expert's remains. It was obvious that the ranks of the deceased had been incredibly low. An hour later, Qin Lai stopped at the foot of the seventh mountain where there were several thousands of grayish-brown bone remains. These bones were either disintegrating or dismembered, and a tragic horror permeated the land beneath the blood-red clouds. Many corpses of experts were collected by the clansmen of the three great families after their bodies rotted away. The remains of an expert were as translucent as jade, and they could be used as materials in artifact forging. The remains of Nirvana Realm and Imperishable Realm martial practitioners contain huge amounts of energy and can even be used as energy sources for many great formations. The three great families naturally did not want to leave such resources untouched. Standing still, Bei Mo looked at the piles of bones and spoke with a thoroughly icy tone. The corpses of these low-rank martial practitioners did not meet the requirements of artifact forging. Of course they were carelessly abandoned, no one could be bothered to bury them all. Go up the mountain and find a cave that leads to the belly of the mountain, Zhu Li instructed. Thus, Qin Lai climbed up the mountain. The seventh mountain was 10,000 meters tall. Its body was huge, and its surface was bare. Not a single plant lived on it. After climbing 3,000 meters, Qin Lai arrived at the midpoint of the mountain. Under Zhu Li's constant guidance, he headed for a cliff at the mountain's rear. Bei Mo followed him the entire way, the confusion in his eyes continuing to grow. He got more and more curious about Qin Lai's actions. Another hour passed, and Qin Lai saw many giant caves in an area that faced away from the sun.